In this video, I just want to introduce you to the WordPress dashboard, and as you can see, we are here at our home page, and you can see one of the default themes that was installed when we install WordPress. And to get to our dashboard, we just need to put a / and then wp admin, wp-admin to our main website address, and then select enter, and it will just take us to a page where we can log in, and you would put your username and your password, which you would have created when you were installing WordPress. So if we just select login, and you will just see a few quick links here on the right hand side to say WordPress news and some other, and you can open and close these just by clicking on the arrow beside the label. You can do here, and you can also just move these around if you wanted for convenience. And on the left hand side you will see the main tabs, the main options. First one is a link to the home page of our dashboard, which if you click this link it will take you back to this exact location, and you see a link here for updates, which you should pay attention to. Whenever there is an update, you will see a number here. Let me just click on updates real quick, and you will see that it says that you have the latest version of WordPress, plugins are all up to date, your themes are all up to date. And this is important for, especially for security, as well as the functionality of WordPress and your plugins and themes. So you want to ensure that as soon as there's an update, that you do go ahead and update it. And you also want to create backups also as well before you do update, especially when it's a large update like the WordPress software itself. And we'll cover backups in another video, but for now you will see the other options here on the left hand side, and if there are additional options you will see, and it will just pop out. But if you were to go to this post page, you would also see some of these options that came. You'll see on the left hand side here the options that were previously on the pop out. So if we go back to our dashboard, the first thing we want to do is a bit of house cleaning, and we do that by going to settings and permalinks. Now the other options that are on the side here, we will cover these in future videos, so don't worry about it. But for now we're just going to go settings and permalinks, and we want to adjust our permalinks. Our permalink is basically the URLs that are created when we create content on our site. And by default, WordPress creates a page ID for each posted page that we create. Now, what it does is that it also puts this page ID into the URL structure, and well, this is not good for search engine optimization, and quite frankly it doesn't really make sense to people. It makes a lot of sense to the software, but not much sense to regular people. So let me just show you something real quick. If we will go to pages and select all pages, and by default a sample page would have been created, and if we select view, let me just open this in a new tab, you will see where it says our website address and then page ID equals 2. So of course this is ugly, it doesn't make any sense, and you do want to change this. So to change this, to put it in a format that's a lot more friendly, let's just go back to our permalinks. Then you just go down to the option that says post name, click the radio button beside it, and you will see under custom structure that a change has been made. And what you want to do is save this, save changes, and if we go back to our sample page and just refresh, you will see that it no longer has the question sign p=2, and it actually just says sample page, which makes a lot more sense. So now that we've sorted out, our permalinks structure, then we can go in our next video and look at creating posts and pages. In this video, I just want to quickly explain the differences between posts and pages, and I believe the best way to do this is to actually show you. So if we go to this very popular website, if you look along the top here in our menu, then pages like your privacy policy, about us, contact, these are pages, and the information on these pages don't change very often, and usually you wouldn't put allow comments on these pages. So pages are ideal for information that's not really time sensitive, but information that you want your users to be able to access at all times. On the other hand, and pages are actually very static, so they're more static. On the other hand, posts tend to be time sensitive. For example, all these links here on the side are for posts, and if you look here, it's like news updates. This one is 5 minutes ago, this one is 14 minutes ago, etc. And so we use posts for information that is more time sensitive, like I said, like news and updates about your site or your business. And generally you do allow comments on posts, but it's totally up to you. You can remove comments from posts, and we'll take a look at that in a future video. And you can add comments to pages. You do have the option to. But this is just to quickly show you some of the differences between posts and pages. And one more thing about posts is that they tend to appear in your site, as you can see here, in reverse chronological order. So newer posts will show up first. So eventually what will happen is that if you have a lot of posts, then depending on how you set your website up, then older posts will eventually disappear off your front page. Okay, so that's just a quick overview of the difference between posts and pages. In this video we're going to create a post, and here we are at our home page of our website, and as you can see here, there is a post that was already created called Hello World, and by default posts will appear on your home page, and there is an option to change that, and we'll look at that in a future video. But this post, of course, was created when we installed WordPress, and it's just there for you to get a feel of how posts look on your website. So to create a new post, we of course have to log into our admin area at WP admin. And from our menu, select Posts, and we will see a list of all the posts that have been created on our website. And as you can see, our Hello World post is here, and we have the option to edit it, quick edit, trash, or view the post. Now, you should delete this post because of course it's there for demonstration purposes, but I won't delete it just yet, as I want you to see how it will be affected once we create a new post. So to do that, we select Add New from the top there, And before we actually create the post, there are a few things on this page I want you to become familiar with. The first thing is at the very top here, in the right hand corner, is the screen options. Now this allows you to just customize what options appear on this screen. And you will see that a couple of boxes are already ticked: formats, categories, tags, featured image. And if you go and look at the right hand side here, you will see format, categories, and tags. So if you wanted to remove those options, you would just untick the boxes. And there are some additional options here that you probably do want to tick, such as the discussion box. And what that will do is allow you to control comments and chat back and pingbacks on your posts. Okay, the next thing we want to look at is the title. Of course, you'd want to name your post, and remember, based on how we set up our permalinks, the name of your post will appear in the URL. Okay, and you do have the option to adjust it, and I will show you how to do this. The next area is this area here, which is our WYSIWYG editor. Now, WYSIWYG is an acronym that stands for what you see is what you get. So essentially, whatever you type here and is basically how it will look on the front end of your site. If we go back over to the right hand side, you will see a couple of options. Right now the post is in draft status because we haven't typed in anything and we haven't selected publish. So once we'd finish, we'd select publish. And there are a couple of other options, such as the visibility, right? By default, all posts will be set to public, but you do have the option to select the post as password protected, where everyone will be able to see the post, but they will be prompted to enter a password to actually see the content. And another option is the private option, which no one will actually be able to see these posts at all except for your logged in users, which you have granted access to, such as your admin and editors, etc. And the password protected option is actually a great option to use to offer content to your members, paid content, etc. Okay, and if we go further down, you see, so let me set this back at public, and you will see format. Now, by default, there's a standard format for all WordPress posts, and that's what we are going to use, but you do have some other options, such as aside, image, video. And what these options will do, if you select them, they will, of course, for example, if you were to select image, and you had an image in your post, which is obviously why you'd want to select it, it would just highlight how the post will be displayed on your website, would highlight that image. And the same for video, audio, etc. Now, how it is displayed really does depend on the theme that you're using. So that is something you would have to test out to see the results. But for now, we're going to use a standard format because that will allow us to add all those types of media. And also there are categories. Now, this allows you to basically, put your posts in a particular order. So for example, if your website was about sports and you covered soccer and basketball, then you could create a category just by add new category and name it soccer. So all the posts that you had about soccer would go in that category. You could just select it. And it makes it a lot easier, well, for you in terms of keeping your website in order, and also for your users who maybe are just interested in soccer, or users who are just interested in basketball to access those posts. And of course there are tags, which is really more for search engine optimization, which just, allows you to give a description to say what your post is all about. And you can also set a featured image which would show up, say, in an excerpt of your post on the front end of your site, so that people can have an idea of what your post is all about. Now, this video is actually getting a bit long, so I'm going to pause here, and in the next video we will actually create some content in our post.